Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I hope that everything is going good for you, inshallah, and everybody else, not just any Muslim viewers that I might have. Today we're going to talk about something very important that everybody already knows about, but just in case, I'm just going to add my thoughts in there just quickly. So today we're going to talk about inflation. Inflation is terrible, you guys. Like, a lot of people have to take on 2-3 more jobs just to make ends meet. Excuse me, I'm just putting a plate away. Just to make ends meet, and they have to do a lot of things that maybe they weren't considering doing, taking on extra responsibility, just so they can pay the bills, just so they can live, just so they can exist. Inflation is out of control here in Canada, and there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I don't think people deserve to live this way. Nobody deserves to live this way. Inflation has also hit me. I'm not saying that I'm immune from it. At this point, nobody who is just almost in any way is immune from it. Maybe except for rich people. Because at this point in time, rich people seem to be thriving. Middle class and under seem to be, not thriving. So it's a lot to take in. I do want to give an example of inflation, like a food example, instead of just a normal product. So this is one of my favorite things to eat, like a dessert dish. So I want to just show you really quickly. So this is dairy milk. This is Cadbury Dairy Milk. They claim to always be, well, I don't know when they started claiming this actually, but this specific sticker was not around forever. It's called Cocoa Life 100% sustainably sourced cocoa powder. And that is 100% not true. There's no way they don't have some sort of way of making it sustainable. I don't think Cadbury would do that, but yeah, not really. But milk chocolate, the creamy classic taste, 220 calories, you guys. That is a lot for a chocolate bar. There's literally so much sugar in here, it's not really good for you, but it's a treat. So yeah, ingredients. But yeah, this is, sorry, I forgot I was talking about inflation for a second there, but this is an example of inflation specifically. So I'll give you an example. This at a local grocery store near me, Food Basics, is gonna run you about maybe $2.25 to $2.47, something like that. But at Shoppers Drug Mart and other sort of higher places, this is going to run you about $4 plus. So that's a little bit of a jump from inflation. And honestly, Cadbury or any other chocolate bar should not even cost $4. It should be $1. Every chocolate bar should be $1 because it's chocolate. It's a sweet. Nobody actually needs it. But Cadbury gotta make money, right? So yeah, and Cadbury is actually one of the very few one of the very few brands that are not owned by Nestle. You guys know what's wrong with Canada. I'm sure you've heard that a lot of products are owned by Nestle now. So however they did it, I don't know how they did it. They just did it. So it's been like that for quite some time. So it's very unfortunate, you guys. Like, I don't really understand it. Nobody deserves to be hit by inflation like that. And honestly, there's not enough to go around these days. So I don't know how the government expects people to live. There's a lot of shortages. So be prepared, you guys. If you can start preparing now. Don't go crazy, but start thinking of a game plan right now. I want you to do that because that's very, very important. So I'll give you another example of slight inflation. because I actually have two products to show you that you already are familiar with. Or maybe. So this is Sprite. Everybody knows that they did the new packaging. They're celebrating 50 years of hip hop, all that stuff. No caffeine. Again, huge lie. Sprite has caffeine in it. I don't know why people don't think. Listen, Sprite is owned by the Coca-Cola company. Everybody knows who Coca-Cola is. So I don't need to explain, any further than that. But I don't really have any specific run-ins. But if you were to go to Food Basics, which is also I got this from, you're gonna be running 225 to 247, and at 7-Eleven you're gonna be looking about $4 or $5. So just be aware of that. That there is slight. You may not want, because if you pay 5 and 5, that's like 10 whatever, and if you buy like 6 of them, that's even more expensive. So Coca-Cola has been raising their prices. So honestly, if you can stop drinking soda altogether, that would be great. Because there's other brands out there that have sparkling water that are a lot cheaper. Or just water in general. But just don't buy the Nestle water. That's all. Just don't buy the Nestle water. Sprite, thankfully, is not owned by Nestle. But they are owned by the Coca-Cola company. Which is an equally, not so good partner. So, yeah. Just like Pepsi and Fanta and all that stuff, they've been raising their prices too. So it's not just Sprite. It's not just Coca-Cola. Pepsi's not even the brink of it. It's not about Fanta. It's not about Dr. Pepper. It's not about orange juice. Like a lot of companies have been raising their prices, but I feel like these are somewhat good examples. Not just that. Beauty products. Let's talk about beauty products. So for Jergens, I'll give you an example, because I don't know anyone who would use the toxic Vaseline anymore. Hardly, unless you really have to, I guess, in certain situations. So Jergens, I discovered Jergens, I want to say 2017. Yes, I know it's been around for longer, but we've been, like, in my household, we've been using Vaseline, we've been using St. Ives, we've been using, like, lower things like that. But we have used Vaseline, like, a lot. So to make the switch from one to the other is not easy. But Jergens is, like, okay. It's not the most moisturizing, but it's okay. But Jergens raised their prices. I believe they used to be... Oh, God. I think... I want to say they used to be cheaper than $3. I think I remember something of that nature at one of my stores. Now they're just, again, $5, $6 up. But definitely, I discovered Jergens in 2017 during the winter. So it was good, but it's expensive. But it wasn't expensive back then. Now it's even more expensive. You might go to your local... And I know Ulta Beauty and everybody doesn't sell Jergens. It's just the grocery stores now. But if you went to Ulta Beauty, for example, you could find Jergens there for $16 plus. One whole bottle of Jergens might run you that. Whereas at places like Costco, if there's a Jergens deal, it's a lot better. And it's possibly somewhat cheaper per pound than it would be... like per ounce, in the entire bottle, than it would be at any other store. So, side note, but yeah, like other brands like Vaseline or Neutrogena or whatever you want to use, they used to be a lot cheaper back then. Shampoo and conditioner are a lot more expensive now. They used to be a lot cheaper back then. Yes, you'll find sales occasionally at Shoppers Drug Mart, but that doesn't mean that there isn't inflation. It just means that they're putting that item on sale for the day. That's all it means. So, like Garnier Whole Blends, Garnier Fructis in general, like Dove started making shampoos and conditioners not too long ago. Head and Shoulders. Tresemme. Tresemme is owned by the same person who made Vaseline, by the way, so you might not want to use it. It's going to dry out your hair and make it brittle. Tresemme, who else? Herbal Essence, like stuff like that. So it used to be somewhat cheaper back then. It's still a cheap brand, but not that cheap. They have gone up in price. That much I can tell you. And people don't deserve to live like that. You might be a person who went from affording salon quoted brands like Tresemme, or this is all I've ever known because this is Canada. Tresemme is like our top echelon hair salon type brand for some reason, even though they're made by Unilever. So that's a whole nother toxic realm that I don't want to get into. But so Tresemme, for example, is claimed to be used by salon professionals who do women's hair and color women's hair every day. But you might be, used to getting salon quality products such as that, apparently, in that bracket. And then you might have to go to Herbal Essence. But you might find nowadays they're too expensive for you. So where do you turn to? Nowhere else except the dollar store, which is worse, way worse than you're going from some okay, slightly worse product to an even worser product with cancer-causing chemicals inside of there. So, like, prominent, all made of just cancer, not just any other non-active ingredients. So, inflation is horrible. It can hit people to the point where they might lose their mind, and that they don't know what else to do. There is programs out there by the government. You can get assistance. You can get this. You can get that. But even sometimes that doesn't even cover a whole bill. Sometimes it might not get you through the month. Sometimes you might not be able to feed your children. So it's up to the government of Canada and the rest of the United States and everywhere else you live to make sure that you voice your concern about inflation, because at this point, it's not sustainable to live. Tell me when it's been sustainable to live. Maybe a couple years ago. But now inflation hits and hits and hits. No matter how many times you make $100,000 paycheck, whatever. It's going to hit and it's going to hurt. So it's a lot. But I just wanted to talk about inflation today, you guys, because I don't have a vlog and I just wanted to just pinpoint a specific area. So if you hear any background noise, I apologize. That was my neighbor's car honking their horn or their car horn going off. So I apologize sincerely for that. Or if you heard any screaming at all, that was because of my neighbor's children. They refuse to shut the hell up. And believe me, guys, they'll probably never shut the hell up. So if I'm doing a video like this without music to be, in the center and being serious, you're going to most likely hear them because they are next door neighbors and their children. So definitely. So I hope you guys are having a good day, and I wish you all the best. Bye.